Okay, well this is the main library's Assistive Technology area, and we have 4 stations here in the main library, and this particular one is one of our low vision stations. As you can see, it has a special keyboard. It's called the Keys You See keyboard. It has large black letters on bright yellow keys, which makes the keys easier to see for our low vision visitors. This station also, like all of our stations here, has an adjustable screen resolution. It's set so that the user can actually adjust the screen resolution to whatever works for them. Most of the computers in the library system have disabled this service, but they can use it here at the adaptive stations. We also have a program on here called Lightning Express Magnifier, and I have that up already. That's on the screen right there. The Lightning Express Magnifier is a little utility that can be accessed on all of these stations, and it's for screen magnification. You can adjust the screen magnification by up to 6 times. You can use either your keyboard here, your mouse here, to increase your magnification, or you can also use keyboard. So if I use Control plus the minus, it should go down. And then Control plus sends it back up again. So that's a nice little utility available on all of these stations. We also have a program on here called the Kurzweil 3000, and that's for someone who's either blind, visually impaired, or learning disabled. And the Kurzweil program works in conjunction with the scanner here. It scans and reads printed material into the computer. Then it reads it back out aloud to the user. And I actually have, let me just minimize this so I can show you how this works. I actually have a document that I've already scanned just to save us some time. I have a magazine article here, which I've already scanned. And then when I tell Kurzweil to read it back to me, I just click on this little button.
Confessions of a Talented Mind.
And it
Deborah
starts to
Martin
read.
Chase. She's a Hollywood heavyweight. The first black woman to have her own production deal with a major studio. Her company, Martin Chase Productions, has been with the...
And as you can see, as it reads the text, it also highlights what it's reading in yellow highlight, so that the user gets both the audio as well as the visual input from the program. We have a user's manual here for people to use for the Kurzweil program, although it's really so user-friendly that it's not at all difficult to figure out without knowing anything. We have over here on this next station, this station is primarily for people with physical limitations. It has, as all of our stations do, it has a wheelchair adjustable table. So if I need to go down, I just press the button here. If I need to go up. We also have the Microsoft Office Suite on all of these stations here, as well as Open Office Suite. And I've brought up the Microsoft Word program so I could demo this device right here. This is called the IntelliKeys device, and it's an enlarged keyboard, and it helps people who have physical, visual, or cognitive disabilities. It helps them type more easily, and I'm just going to demo to you that it actually works. If I wanted to write a letter, I just type the letter, and it appears on the Microsoft Word program. We're going to write to Dear John here. Okay. It has alternative input devices. For some people, accessing a computer through a traditional keyboard, mouse, and screen is hard, a challenge, if it's not, in fact, an impossibility. And so this station has alternative input devices to make it easier for them. These little things that look like M&Ms here, these are input devices that you could use. For example, if you weren't able to use your hands, if you didn't have the dexterity to use your hands to click on the mouse, You could use one of these switches. These in this you just, for example, if I couldn't use my hand, I might be able to use my elbow. So I could use my elbow to click on the button, and it would control the mouse. We also have at this station something called the JAWS mouse, and that's this device right here. The word JAWS is actually a combination of the words joystick and mouse, and it is essentially a mouse in a different construction than what we're used to seeing. The JAWS is controlled with the mouth rather than with the hand, and it's typically, again, it's typically used by people with physical limitations, that, you know, paraplegics, quadriplegics, people with neurological disorders. The JAWS works by moving the joystick, and you can use your mouth. You can actually, if you don't have control with your mouth, you can actually use your chin or your tongue. But when you move this device with your mouth, it controls the cursor over here on the screen. And there are various devices. I have a straw in here, but there are other devices you can use, you can attach to the JAWS station. This looks a little bit like a baby bottle, but it would stick on there like that. And would, again, it would be used to control the mouse. Sips and puffs, for example, would be clicks or you know, double clicks. You control with your sipping and puffing. We also have on this station, as well as on other stations here, we have an on-screen keyboard. And if we were to use this in conjunction with the Word program, we might use these 2-foot devices down here. If you're not able to use your hands, you might be able to use your foot. The one on the left controls the direction of the cursor, and the one on the right is going to control whether you click or double click. Our fourth station is the also for low vision or for blind patrons. And there are a number of programs over here on this station that would help people with low vision. We have, for example, a program called Zoom Text, and I'm going to bring up Zoom Text. Zoom Text is a screen magnification program. It also reads the text as well. There's a reader on here. I'm not sure the reader is turned on at the moment, but the magnification certainly is. And you can adjust the magnification by up to 16 times. So this is very popular. This is frequently used here in the library for our low vision patrons. Very easy to use. We also have we have another program here. I'm going to bring this down to normal resolution so I can see. We have another program on here called the JAWS program, and JAWS is JAWS, the word JAWS, J-A-W-S, is an acronym for Job Access with Speech, and it's a dedicated screen reader, and it works by converting the text that appears on the screen to speech. And I'm going to bring up the web and turn on this.
Edit box.
And it's going to read everything on the screen here.
Final report of the future of the library task force.
We have this purple device here. This is called the Alva Braille Display Unit, and it allows our blind visitors to read electronic device documents using their hands instead of their eyes. For example, if you were to go on the website, the Braille display would read line by line. The Braille would appear on this line down here. Also, I'll just call your attention to the keyboard. It has Braille keys, so that if for our visitors who are totally blind, they can type and they'll know what keys they're hitting. We have another feature here at this station called the Duxbury Braille Translator. It is essentially a word processing program that converts text documents to Braille. For example, if I were to type a letter, just type a document here. My name is Kelly. How are you today? Okay, so we have a document here. If we wanted to convert this to Braille, all we'd have to do is press Control and then T for translate, and it translates it to Braille. And then, if we wanted to print this document, we have over here to my right, we have a Braille embosser. And so I'm going to try this.
Now resetting the carriage to the home position.
And so we should have a document here, and we do. And that's it right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And that's a summary of our services here in the main library.